keep you in. Must be losing me touch.
Trust me, you haven't. Did you have to belt me quite so hard?
If it were anybody else, I'd have kicked him in the guts. For authenticity, like. As long as Tim understands.
Tim will never know. Well, not yet. Oh, I hate lying to him.
Did they adjourn the trial?
God willing, that CCTV's gonna come through.
Fingers crossed. Although I won't, if it's all the same to you. When people say you're hard-faced, they're not kidding.
Do you know, I really appreciate what you did.
Well, that's the first time I've been thanked for a smack in the gob.
Well, you were looking out for me. Nice to have a friendly face round here. There's not been that many lately.
Don't worry. You won't be messed with now.
Have you been to prison a lot?
Well, if there was a loyalty scheme, I would be a gold member.
So what you back in for this time?
2 words. Tracy Barlow.
Shouldn't you be on gate duty?
I was just going. Look, Phil, boss.
I haven't read it yet.
It's not about the play. I saw Hope Stape's parents as they were leaving.
He's a Neanderthal.
He was just upset.
Not as upset as Mr. Kearney. He had to have a tetanus shot. I said to him you should have a rabies jab while you're at it, just to be on the safe side.
That family's been through an awful lot.
Oh, of course. They're mates of yours, aren't they? Well, I'll be a bit more discerning in future. They're not the kind of parents we want sending their kids to Bessie Street.
No, they're good people. I know the daughter's troubled, but...
Troubled? She thought a teacher's forearm was a pepper army. No, we're not going to tolerate that sort of people in future. They're going to be weeded out.
Weeded out?
The governors know that I've been de facto head here for a while. So when Mrs. Calvert finally steps down, I want them to feel confident, looking at the academic and the disciplinary data, that they can anoint me as their successor.
Teaching is not about data. You cannot exclude every child that presents a challenge.
Well, we'll see about that, won't we? Meanwhile, rest assured, your opinion's been duly noted.
I know you need to look at the bigger picture. But with pupils like Hope, well, we can really change outcomes, make a difference.
Blimey, you should run for union rep. They lap up that kind of nonsense at the conferences. Meanwhile, some of us live in the real world, one where I'm late for my governor's meeting and you're late for gate duty.
Right, to take their out for it. This is no place for Seb.
Well, I don't know. Some teenage lads might enjoy women's prison.
Well, there is that.
Any mother would have done the same.
Well, at least they did right by me kids for once.
You'd be a great mum if only you let yourself.
It's not about letting myself. It's down to social services, and that ship has well and truly sailed.
I mean, if you told them about what really happened at the garage, at the florist...
Nobody's telling anyone anything, especially about the florists.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's your call, but if they knew the full situation, I'm sure they'd go easy on Seb. If those twins were my kids...
You'd want what's best for them.
And isn't that being with the mum?
They've got a mum. A better one than I'll ever be. Do you fancy a game of pool?
Never played.
What are you looking at if you're found guilty?
3, 4 years.
Well, in that case, it's about time you learned. Come on.
Do you know, I used to watch snooker in the 80s. I had this real thing about Cliff Thorburn. He had a tash that was very similar to Kevin's.
Oh, black coffee. You'll not sleep tonight.
I won't anyway. I need all the mental stimulation I can get. I have a lot of thinking to do.
What's the matter?
Phil?
Oh. What's he got you doing now? Retarmacking the playground?
He's hell-bent on excluding any pupil he deems to be difficult. And he started with Hope.
What's happened?
She bit her teacher. It's reprehensible, of course, but it's nothing short of educational Darwinism. He wants to massage the performance figures and take the credit, so the governors will appoint him when Mrs. Calvert steps down.
Well, you've got to do something.
The governing body's in his pocket. I'm a nobody, a relic from a different era.
A kinder era. Brian, what's going to become of Hope if she's kicked out of school? Fizz and Tyrone have got a right to know what's going on.
And what happens then?
I don't know, but the Brian Packham that I love will do what's right. Take the consequences.
Have the police been in touch?
Yes, they have, and it wasn't really ideal because they came to work.
Well, none of this is ideal, I'm afraid, but we do what we can. How did it go?
I answered their questions, and they said he'll probably turn up given his track record.
Track record? You've told the police about Jude's issues?
Well, they have to know the background.
Well, surely you realise what that would mean, that they wouldn't take this seriously.
Mary, it's the police. I had no choice.
Of course you did. No matter what you might think about him, Jude is still the father of your child. I cannot believe that you have undermined our efforts to find him.
Mary!
There you go.
You're still coming to court tomorrow, aren't you?
I won't let your mum down.
They're going to try and tell you a lot of lies. None of it's true.
I was Sally's boss, and whatever else she was always honest. To a fault sometimes. Yes, mate.
Anything new, eh?
Gina, playing by the rules wasn't getting us anywhere.
Why don't you tell Tim? Don't you think he's suffered enough?
Because the fewer people that know, the better for their sake. And if the CCTV gets to court, then it'll all be over and Tim will agree.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be so sure because the prison did monitor the phone call to your mum. Standard practice now.
Yeah, so they know it was a put-up job.
Well, I could try and argue that nothing came of the conversation, but that wouldn't be easy.
Does my mum know?
No, because they don't normally inform prisoners that are under investigation. But if things go wrong for us, she'll find out soon enough. I can't believe you've been so stupid.
Hold on. I never told her to go and get beaten up. I suggested she made herself sick.
Right, and you don't think that a Crown Court judge will be able to read between the lines on that transcript? Honestly, your ham-fisted meddling has put me in such a difficult position. I can't be implicated in this kind of deceit. This is my career.
This is my mum. And I wanted to do something to help, which is more than can be said for you.
What's with all the aggro?
Take it up with your wife.
Hiya!
How was the peace conference?
You don't beat around the bush, do you?
Just tell me.
It was great. Thanks for sorting it for us.
Ah, my pleasure. The longer you leave things like that, the harder they are to fix.
Nah, I can't see Chesney holding a grudge. He's too good a bloke. Emma's well lucky.
You wouldn't mind a Chesney of your own?
Even if that were true, which I am not saying that it is, missed my chance now, Anna.
Oh, never say never.
You just said it twice.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Now, Emma and Chesney make a well-nice couple. Meanwhile, I end up with Crims with a Bill Oddie tattoo on the leg.
Bill Oddie?
Oh, it's a long story. Too long to tell you now. I'm going Butlins.
What, just like that?
Yeah, Chesney's give us the time off. I'm stopping with my cousin. She's a cleaner, like.
Where?
In the chalets and that.
No, which Butlins?
Skeggy.
Oh, so you just need a bit of time to think?
The only thing I am thinking about is getting wasted and snogging that guy who works on the waltzers.
I hope this isn't a bad time.
Well, of course it's a bad time. Our daughter's been booted out of school. She's upstairs crying her eyes out.
I'm so sorry. That's what I wanted to discuss.
Well, it's Gillespie that you want to speak to. You think we'd better teach her the way he was going on at us?
He can come across as rather brusque sometimes. He's under a lot of pressure.
Oh, my heart bleeds for him.
He wants to succeed, Mrs. Calvert. He wants to improve performance, and that's dictated a shift in policy as regards to exclusions.
We don't give a stuff who does what, Brian. We just want our daughter to get an education. We want her to feel secure and happy.
It's all right, love.
I want to do right by Hope too. But Mr. Gillespie is looking to reduce the number of disciplinary incidents to help his case.
Oh, I get it. All right. So he's booting out all the naughty kids so he can become headmaster. That's why Hope's been excluded.
In essence,
Can't
yes.
do that. Right. First thing tomorrow, I am down at that school and
First
having
thing.
it out with
That's
him.
not necessarily
Right,
the
we'll go to the papers then. We will. He can't just do that.
We will.
Kids on the scrap heap to get promotion.
Please, before you do anything rash, I'd like to talk to him on your behalf.
Oh, but I thought you had no influence.
I may have a little. At the very least, I know how to talk to him. And I apologise for my reluctance to intervene earlier.
It's okay. We understand. We do. It's not easy, is it, going against your boss?
No, it's not. But it must be done. And I will go into battle for you. I'll try and catch him at the school now. There's a governor's meeting tonight.
Right, well, will you let us know how you get on?
Of course.
Brian, sorry if I was a bit full on a minute ago.
I completely understand. You care for your daughter. And so do I.
Do you know that they cooked this up?
I'd have told you if I'd have known.
It was just me and my mum.
I was worried sick, Sophie. I thought she'd been badly hurt. I sat in hospital holding her hand and she gave me some cock and bull story about a ping pong ball.
Look, we just wanted to protect her in case it got out.
No more lies, OK? She promised me that.
I know, but this was totally my idea.
Did she run with it? Get herself beat up. What's she thinking of?
She's scared.
Yeah, well, we all are. That's why we need to look out for each other. Not go behind each other's backs.
Tim, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Right, I feel another pint coming on. Do you want out?
No, thanks, sir. I might go home. It's been one of them days.
Yes. See you later.
Hello? Yes, it's Gina, Tully's sister. We need to meet. No, tonight. I want to know exactly what went on between you two.
Well, why don't you ask your sister?
She was there as well.
I want to hear the truth from you.
Because I've heard more than enough lies for one day.
It wasn't anything special.
Madam Chairman, it was a 3-wood from a second cut of rough. She landed it pin-high from 200 yards. It broke my heart, it did.
I'm sure you'll get your revenge on Sunday, Phil.
Can I have a word?
What are you doing here? If this is about that wretched play...
It's a rather more serious matter. Probably not for gubernatorial ears.
Come again.
We need to go somewhere more private.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Ladies. Right, this had better be important.
I can't think of anything more important than the welfare of one of our children. This new exclusions policy goes against everything that I hold dear. All the things that made me want to decide to become a teacher in the first place and return to the profession.
Well, you told me it was goodbye, Mr. Chips, and the pension scheme.
They were factors, yes. But above all, I wanted to change lives for the better. Bring the light of learning to kids who might otherwise live in darkness.
Well, if any of our kids live in darkness, it's because they've done over the electric meter.
As educators, we surely cannot adopt a policy that necessarily leaves some children behind.
Look, Brian, when you're in a position of leadership, you need to be governed by cold, hard logic, all right? Not soft focus, sentimentality.
I understand. I used to be the head here at one time.
Right, well, then you'll understand that I answer to these people in the education authority.
If I could just talk to the governors
That
about...
won't be necessary.
Her parents are thinking of going to the media.
What? What are they planning? Have they done anything yet?
I managed to talk them down on the proviso that I bring the matter up with you.
Yes, you've given a very compelling case. I suppose, given the circumstances, I would be willing to rescind Hope's exclusion and examine alternatives.
Well, that's marvellous. Thank you, Phil. Boss.
No, Phil's fine, out of office hours. Good work, Brian. Good work.
Wondered whether you'd show.
Well, I very nearly didn't. This is some kind of sting.
Oh, yeah. Flying squad's around the corner.
You could be wearing a wire.
Oh, the only wire I'm wearing is in my bra. You watch too many bad movies.
So what are we doing here? Wasn't expecting another date.
I just wanted to hear your side of the story.
It's not an especially original tale. I was a stupid middle-aged man who got his head turned by the wrong woman. But I already told you that.
Yeah. Well, you were looking down my dress, I remember. And I told you, Sal wouldn't seduce anyone. She's happily married.
Well, aren't all politicians? She loved her husband, but she wasn't in love with him.
You really do watch too many bad movies.
Well, it's her cliche, not mine. She reckoned he held her back. Was a good bloke, but not the sharpest. Kind of bloke who asked for brown sauce at the mayoral dinner. You know, an embarrassment.
She never said that.
A slob and a snob is not a match made in heaven.
Tim is no slob.
You were much quicker to stick up for him than his wife.
Sally thinks the world of him.
Not if her pillow talk's anything to go by.
It's a bit fast forward.
Not really. And that's how quick it all happened. She wanted comfort, and so did I. Who's got time for a slow burn at our age?
And you, the grieving widower.
Look, when my wife died, I lost my present and my future in a single moment. The past doesn't keep you warm at night. I just wanted to feel loved again.
She said she loved you.
She didn't mean it. She just wanted a patsy in case her scheme went wrong.
Why did you go along with it?
Because I was fed up of resenting every old couple that I passed in the street. I mean, why them and not me and my missus? I had a massive hole in my life and Sally filled it. I'd have done anything for her. And she knew that.
There you go.
Thank you. There really is no need.
Hey, it is my pleasure. Hope was made up when I told her she could go back to school.
Yeah, you're a hero.
Yeah, pants on the outside of your trousers from now on.
A cape might be a more elegant affectation.
Oh, yeah, it'd suit you, that, and a mask.
That might be rather sinister. I wouldn't want to frighten reception. Oh, Phil, boss.
Boss is fine. I'm here in an official capacity.
In the pub.
The old woman at your address said that you'd be here. Though I might have guessed as much. It concerns your child. Now, I have left the official letter at your house, but I wanted to bring you up to speed in person.
Well, Brian told us you're not excluding her anymore.
Well, it was never my intention to remove her from the school, not without providing a viable alternative.
We just want her back at Bessie Street.
Not possible. But you'll be pleased to hear I've arranged for a place for her at a pupil referral unit, so she will continue to be educated, but in an environment that caters for her particular needs.
Well, she needs to be with her sister, with her mates.
I think you'll come to see this is the best solution all round. Everything's explained in the letter I've left, so any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch.
You said she could stay.
Brian, there's been a misunderstanding. You can't send Hope to a PRU.
I merely followed your logic. We can't leave children behind. We should be changing outcomes. And in Hope's case, that means sending her somewhere equipped to deal with problem children. And I'd be happy to tell the media as much.
Hope has issues, yes. But the only problem here is your obsession with statistics.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
The best indicator of a school's performance isn't data. It's how we deal with the Hope stakes in our role. You can't run a school like a business.
That's exactly how Bessie Street's going to be run. I'm taking that school on a journey, and I cannot afford to have people sat at the back, messing about, mooning at other vehicles.
I've never mooned at anyone in my life.
There's no place at that school for disruptive pupils, still less disruptive teachers. Now, if you want to cling to outdated ideas and bleeding art notions, go and do it at a failing school. Otherwise, belt up and get with the programme. Oh, yes, and I skim-read your play, by the way. If we put that garbage on, we need to fumigate the entire school. So I've done some thinking, and I want a nativity. With a twist.
With a twist? The Nativity? It's the greatest story ever told, not tales of the unexpected. People won't buy Four Kings or chartered accountants pitching up instead of shepherds.
Sure you'll think of something.
Nothing you said proves anything.
Well, you didn't expect me to produce a smoking gun.
Well, I was hoping for something more than your word against hers. Because my sister will always win that one, hands down.
So why are you still here?
I told you, I want to get to the truth.
Because you don't believe what Sally's saying, that you've got doubts. Look, it's hardly a revelation.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, if you were convinced that Sally was innocent, you'd never have ditched the burner phone.
I panicked.
But I'm sorry, if you thought she was telling the truth, the whole truth and nothing but, it would never have crossed your mind to dump that phone. Don't beat yourself up. It's not disloyal. Something as big as this, with the police all over it, anyone would have doubts.
I don't know what to think anymore.
You're exactly where I was with Sally. You sense something's wrong, that you're being played, but you don't want to believe it because you love her. But don't make my mistake and leave it too late. Just wise up, Gina, and get away from her while you still can.
Well, I thought it was for me.
Oh, you're the parent/guardian of Hope's Day, are you?
I was, while you pair were out boozing.
They were thanking Brian.
Yeah, that sounds like it might have been a bit premature.
What does it say?
It says she's a proper little madam.
Ty.
No way.
Actually, it says here, that they can only make her go to this special unit if we give our consent, so she doesn't have to go.
Yeah, and what if they won't have her back at Bessie Street?
Yeah, you can't blame them. Taking a chunk out of a teacher. Oh, I've never heard of such behaviour. I mean, if he'd done it, it'd be straight into a muzzle.
Are you suggesting I put a muzzle on my daughter?
Well, she wouldn't do it again.
Will you stop talking like that? Hope's had a lot to put up with in her life, but you know deep down she's a good girl.
I mean, yeah, she is. Just... She did bite her teacher.
Oh, do you want to put her in a muzzle as well, then?
No, I'm just saying. If she's got any chance of staying at Bessie Street, then she's going to have to be on best behaviour from now on. Otherwise, it's only one of these units that'll have her.
Yeah, well, that's nice of you, but perhaps I should have known. OK, all right, thank you. Yeah. Bye.
Was that Paula?
Yeah.
Are they going to do anything about what happened?
She doesn't know yet. She's still trying to figure out what's best to do. She's pretty upset, though.
Well, I don't blame her. How could Sal be so flaming stupid?
Well, what's done is done.
What about the CCTV?
No joy yet.
So all your shenanigans were for nothing?
I was just sick of sitting in the sidelines. Actually, I wanted to do something positive.
Yeah, well, don't we all? So, look, I've been out walking and mulling things over. I want to testify.
Oh, you sure? I mean, we didn't want to ask you, did we? We didn't want it to get too stressful.
Well, it can't be any more stressful than sitting on my hands.
I appreciate that, Gina. God knows we're short of character witnesses. But you do realise that once their barrister gets stuck in, it's going to be a rough ride.
After what's happened, I don't think I have a choice. Everyone needs to know what my sister's really like.
Well, he's only been here 5 minutes, but the reign of Emperor Noel Edmonds is already causing rumbles in the jungle camp. Join us live down under for new I'm a Celebrity next on ITV. And keep your eyes peeled in the ad break for a very special Dancing on Ice treat.